From the University of North Dakota in Grand Forks, this is Studio One.
Hi everyone and welcome to Studio One. I'm Kari Strandberg.
And I'm Avery Robb.
Today on the show, post-graduation career plans can be stressful for college students. We'll meet someone who knows how to make it to the top and enjoys sharing his wisdom with others.
Also, a home field advantage can help change the outcome of a game in any sport. Learn how some football players are taking that advantage from the field to the court. But first, a natural gas leak caused mayhem in the neighborhood of Greenwood in Seattle. The explosion destroyed at least one building and damaged many others. It also sent 9 firefighters to the hospital, but with minor injuries. Seattle's mayor called the blast a devastating disaster for the business district. He also told reporters that it would take a lot of work to help the business get back to where they were. Officials say they're still trying to find the source of the leak. First Lady Michelle Obama welcomed some young ladies to the White House to tour the Let Girls Learn bus. Obama spoke to dozens of girls as part of the initiative. This program is a government-wide effort that leverages investments in global primary schools and helps adolescent girls complete their education. The First Lady will participate in a series of events in support of girls' education around the world. Stress and anxiety are only 2 of many issues that college students face on a daily basis. A 2014 American Psychological Association study shows that students are the most stressed group of people in America when school is in session. The drive to get good grades and a degree combined with hours of homework are a few common stress factors. Counselors say that stress and anxiety is a growing issue for students.
There is a growing trend of severity of symptoms, anxiety and depression at levels that are higher than they have been in the past.
Laura says that if students can't manage their stress, they might engage in unhelpful behaviors like drinking to relieve stress at the time. University counseling centers offer a variety of services, from walk-ins during the day to ongoing counseling for students. Some universities also offer opportunities to take yoga and mindfulness classes to help manage their stress.
Decisions are a normal part of everyday life, but can sometimes be difficult. Cold weather may make things a bit easier. 2 university researchers had study participants point out grammar mistakes in warm and cold rooms. Participants in the warm room performed much worse, catching only half of the mistakes. Because the brain is an organ, it requires energy to function. Since shivering causes more energy than sweating, the colder climate causes people to exert more energy, making them think clearer and more quickly.
Whether it's eating, shopping, or just having fun, buying local products can strengthen a community. We found one small business in Grand Forks whose vision is creating a loyal customer base.
Hi, welcome to Kitsona.
Walk into Kitsona and you can immediately feel the difference. Staff are ready to welcome you with a smiling face, and the overall atmosphere feels like home.
We want people to be able to come in here if they're having a bad day and feel love and feel encouraged and just feel happy.
This boutique started as an idea from 2 young college graduates. According to a poll done by USA Today, there is no better time to own a small business. But coming up with the next big thing or turning an idea into a business can be challenging for new entrepreneurs.
If they really have the right mindset and how they're going to conduct their business plan or how they want to see themselves succeed, they get it done.
Everyone is just kind of falling into place and we're able to do it, so we want to run with it.
Have fun with it and basically make sure that you work hard at it.
Since its opening in 2011, the store's expanded to 4 new locations across the upper Midwest.
We have such a loyal following and that we have built such a loyal group of customers that it's hard to not want to shop small.
But that loyal following took time.
It was kind of scary, of course. Any expansion will be scary, but we had a great team in place.
Hewitt says it's the relationships with the customers along with the continuous, humble, loving atmosphere that sets small businesses apart.
When customers come in, we want to offer to take their jackets. We want to ask them if they want coffee. We literally ask them about their day.
Strong community relationships are one of the reasons why this and many other small businesses are finding success. I'm Jake Ocken, reporting for Studio One.
80% of small businesses in the survey said they have grown the same or more than they had in the previous year. Kari, that's the news for now.
Thanks, Avery. Let's go now to Kaela Lucke for the weather news. Kaela?
Thanks, Kari. Here at the Weather Studio, we're taking a look at some of that much-needed precipitation that they've been seeing out west lately, particularly in Folsom, California. They saw a surplus of rainfall throughout the week, and they haven't seen this since the year 2012. Now, all that rain did mean they could finally open up the Folsom Dam. While Folsom was receiving rain, other places in California were receiving snow. In Tahoe, California, they received 1.5 feet of snow, and this was no shortage of snow for skiers and snowboarders, as they had a fresh pack to go out and enjoy. Now all that snow and rainfall was due to the El Nino, and that is actually starting to die down, and we're getting ready for something known as the La Nina to start up for next winter. Now the La Nina is where we have this warm ocean water, and that is going to start to recede, and these arrows known as the trade winds, which move from the west, are actually going to start and get stronger and stronger. And as they get stronger, they're going to go back to what's considered normal, where the cool and the warm water are happily together. Now as the wings get stronger and stronger, that's going to start to overtake, and that cool weather is going to start to go down. Now that does mean that that jet stream is going to move up for us, and that means that we will be seeing a cooler winter ahead of us for the next couple years. With the changing of seasons, we may be seeing people sneezing a lot, and there is a reason why this is occurring.
The meltdown signifies a point in the year that many dread, allergy season. There are many factors that cause the sniffles in some of our noses.
And that can be tree pollen, that can be grasses, that can be things like ragweed, and we also see a fair amount of mold allergies in this part of the country as well.
Allergies occur when these things are released into the air each spring. Other factors of intensity and types of allergies depend on the climate of the area.
Places like Arizona, where it's very arid, you're not going to see a real intense allergy experience, especially kind of in the low-lying desert areas.
However, the issues that tend to bug people are fairly uniform across the country.
People can have itchy, watery eyes. Sometimes they have some clear nasal discharge or sneezing. Some people will have a sore throat, and that might be their only symptom.
When and how many allergens are released is also dependent on the type of winter and spring.
If we have a wet winter and a wet spring, and then it warms up into the early spring, we're going to see an allergy season that's earlier and more intense.
Experienced allergy sufferers understand that it's all seasonal and fairly common. I'm Nick Saul, reporting for Studio One.
About 1/3 of everyone in the United States does experience some type of allergies throughout the season. And this brings us to our weather question of the week. Now on March 6th, Grand Forks broke their record high. What was that temperature? And those temperatures range from the 41 degrees to 71 degrees Fahrenheit. And Kari, the last time this record was broke was back in the year 2000.
Wow, it's been a long time. Thanks, Kaela. Now let's head on over to Avery for the sports story of today's show. Avery?
Thanks, Kari. As the University of North Dakota's men's basketball team warms up, another team comes together behind the basket. This other team has a different game plan in mind.
As tip-off is anxiously awaited, final preparations are snapped into place.
Wait, what are we doing? There's nothing like a good student section, nothing like a good fan base. They give you energy at crucial moments.
Once this group makes their noticeable entrance, you can feel the energy buzzing.
I mean, they're also really entertaining. It's kind of like watching a game that's not the game.
Home court advantage is always a big deal when it comes to sports, and we feel like we're playing a big part of that.
As the opposing team lines up for a free throw, you can count on the group to do everything in their power to keep the ball out of the bucket.
Try to pull up their roster and see what players they have and try to get in their heads. Hey, Brian, put James in!
This group of fans' camaraderie extends beyond the bleachers.
It's really nice having the football team out here. They bring a really positive energy towards it. They get people really excited in the student section.
This team's skits, chants, and dancing translate into something else on a much different playing field.
It's good for us as a program. We get tighter. We're becoming more of like a brotherhood than an actual team. So this is huge for us.
You know, our guys need to have fun together off the field and away from practice, and that's how you develop really good team chemistry.
By experimenting with chemistry, this team has found a way to make a tip-off help them at their next kickoff. With photography by Taylor Nelson, I'm Hadley Purdy, reporting for Studio One.
The team skit in the student section ranged from razzing players of the opposing team by name to even crowd surfing. And that's the sports story for today's show. Kari, that's an excellent way to do some team bonding and to support the local teams.
Absolutely. It looks like they might even get together to practice those too. Thanks, Avery. After gaining experience in business and government, one UND alum is back on campus, but not as a student. Next, we'll meet the former governor of North Dakota and learn more about his newest role.
Closed captioning for Studio One is underwritten in part by NDAD, helping others to help themselves.
For me to go to college, it was a big step, knowing that I'm pursuing a better future for myself. When you know that you have a small system there that you can still find comfort in, it really makes a difference. The support here and everything that they offer for us, you know, the tutors, the free meals, the family, the friends, basically just somewhere for you to relax and be comfortable and find that home feeling again.
Yeah, okay, science meets imagination. Life changed by innovation. They're the future of our nation. Engineers the occupation. UND College of Engineering and Mines. Invest in your mind to stay with the times. Formulas, machines, and all that's in between. They teach it all from wall to help you succeed. Come on, it could be electrical, chemical, or civil. Our world-class staff will help you make it all official. Mechanical, petroleum, geology align at
the UND's College of Engineering and Mines.
Okay, become a leader, prove yourself among all your peers. Changing the world begins right here. You're not alone, but in the plan, we'll take your hand and help you stand with mentorship and advising. We'll do all we can. Okay, so if you want to join the party, simply calculate. The math adds up, so never think to hesitate. Education, leadership, and dreams combined at the UND College of Engineering and Mines.
I really love UND.
It's just exactly what I want to be doing, and you know, with this program I get to do it.
It's very tailored to what your interests are and what your future goals are.
By the time I graduate, I'll have a stacked resume.
This grad program has been unbelievable. It has literally been a dream come true.
With more than 120 degree and certificate programs, the UND School of Graduate Studies is your path to success.
Closed captioning for Studio One is supported in part by the Listen Center, enriching the lives of people who have intellectual disabilities with choices in community recreation.
The University of North Dakota has gained a new leader, and he plans to set up the university for success. But he also wants to help students gain knowledge about the business world along the way. Interim President of the UND, Ed Shafer, is here to tell us how he intends to do both. Thanks for being on the show with us today.
It's good to be with you.
So you have quite the resume. You started off in the business world, and then you went to state government as the governor of North Dakota, and then federal government as the Secretary of Agriculture. You then came full circle back to where you went to school, and you're the president here now. How did you get back to UND?
Well, it obviously was a long trail, you know, many years in between my two stops on campus. But the situation was the president of UND was leaving. There was a presidential search that wasn't going to be completed as a crossover. So there was a time period in between, and they were looking for someone to serve as an interim president. I was approached a couple of times, wasn't quite interested, but then Nancy, my wife Nancy, and I started talking about it at home, and here we ended up. It seemed like a thing to do.
What are your top priorities while you're here?
We have several priorities. The top ones, of course, are the budget. We have some real budget challenges at UND, and we're starting to approach those to be able to focus the money on the excellent priority programs that we have at UND, and I think that budget process is going to be great. We have some issues of morale problems between the faculty and the administration, and between students and the administration. I think I think the students are coming along real great. I don't sense that that's an issue, but there's some always kind of skirmishes between who's running the show and, is it the administration or the faculty and who's driving it? And the most important thing there is to focus on the student learning experience. So we're trying to get everybody focused on that instead of against each other, and I think that's working out pretty well as well.
You have a short amount of time to do all of those things. How are you going to do it?
Well, we won't get them all done. We're going to start down the process. The budget process will be 3 to 5 years. The morale issues, how do you know how to solve those? I mean, it takes some time. But the point is, we'll put a budget on the table that is going to be implemented over a several-year period. We hope that the new president is going to follow along that budget guideline. We'll put an administrative capacity on the table, looking at the organizational chart, the positions, evaluating people. We'll put that on the table for the new president to fully implement as it goes forward. And likewise, that student learning experience, we've got some ideas about how to make that better, more secure, more sound, and more energizing for the students. And so hopefully we'll get that on the table as well for, our role as interim president is to make sure that we have a launching pad for the new president to drive this university forward.
Can you give me one example of what the hardest part was to be coming into being president here?
I think the hardest part was really making a decision. Nancy and I had kind of plotted out our lives and thought we were going to go in one direction, and changing direction on that, you have to take into consideration family, location, much different areas, our workloads, what we're going to do. And so we had to come to the grips with saying, is this something we want to do? The hardest piece of that was how to define interim. An interim I talked to some governor friends of mine who are presidents of universities, and they said sometimes the interim position is 3 years, so we had to get that defined. But I don't know that there was anything really hard about it. This is exciting, it's fun, and once we made the decision to come here, it's just been all great.
We have a picture that will be shown in just a second here. What is your favorite part about working with students as we show this picture of you being a student here?
Well, the most exciting thing for me as to be back, students are energizing. Students are exciting. When I try to get in a classroom at least once a week, as a guest lecturer, of some kind. I'm out, like Nancy and I are over in the Union. We're, eating in the dining facilities. That we're working out at the wellness center. Students are exciting. They're engaged. They're learning. They're searching. They're eager on new things and new ideas, and that charges you up.
What's the most important thing that you want your students to learn before they leave UND?
I think the most important thing that our students will be, we want to graduate students that are informed, that are smart, that have nimble minds, and all the learning experiences, but also students who engage in the community. It's more than leaving university and getting a job. It's becoming a member of a community and all the parts of that I think are important. So we want to graduate students that are, that are brilliant, that are informed. And have learning skills, because you don't stop learning once you leave the university, but also that important element of engaging strongly in the community, becoming a part of a community, is what our university should be all about.
And lastly, is it going to be hard for you to leave come July 1st?
Yes, it is. It's, Nancy and I love it here. It's, the whole job seems to fit. All that I've done in my life has come to bear here, and I walked into that office and went, this is comfortable. This is nice. This is the things that I've done help me do this job, and it will be hard. It's, it's my university. I love the job. I love being here. And we've had to walk out of the governor's office. We've had to walk out of the secretary's office. We'll walk out of the president's office with sadness, but the joy of getting our lives back, too.
Great. Thanks so much for your time today. We loved having you on the show.
Thank you. It's great to be with you.
In most popular board games, the winner is usually the luckiest player at the table. Coming up, learn how one group's amusement is much more than just rolling the dice.
Studio One closed captioning is underwritten in part by Options, your disability information source.
it's not the size of the woman in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the woman.
Really admire the faculty. They're the ones that kind of helped push me through this.
Courses are hands-on and interactive. The communication program has so many different facets to it. One of the great things about the staff in the communication department is that they love what they do. They encourage you to really critically think and analyze everything you're learning. They're so into it, and it makes you want to be into it.
North Dakota is facing challenges in healthcare delivery. The University of North Dakota School of Medicine and Health Sciences is building a place to help meet the state's healthcare needs. In addition to a new structure, we're also building interaction between healthcare professionals while building a workforce through expanding class sizes. We're inspiring our youth to engage in healthcare careers and exploring ways to reduce disease. It starts here and ends here, building a better future for North Dakota.
To have the future you want and a career you'll be proud of, you'll need a great education. The University of North Dakota can get you there with more than 225 degree programs, preparing you for today's fastest growing, high demand careers, like medicine and health professions, aerospace, business, engineering, and energy. Schedule your campus visit today at und.edu/go. Because to succeed, you need to be exceptional.
If you would like to attend a live show, go to our website at studio1.und.edu.
Sacha Baron Cohen is the creator of popular characters such as Borat and Ali G. He returns as a fun-loving family man who, aside from caring for his wife and 9 children, now has a new responsibility: saving the world. The Brothers Grimsby follows a lovable football fan who was separated from his brother at birth. 28 years later, he finally locates his sibling. He then accidentally ruins his brother's life and forces them to flee for safety.
Let's create this great action movie and we'll throw an idiotic character into the middle of it, which is obviously played by me, and see how that character changes the course of the movie.
The film features a seasoned stunt crew who have created action sequences for blockbusters like The Bourne Supremacy and Talladega Nights. Producers say combining the carefree life of Cohen's character with the action-packed antics of his brother proved to be challenging, but effective. They say it's sure to keep you laughing, as well as gripping the edge of your seat. The Brothers Grimsby will be released in theaters March 11th with an R rating. An Oklahoma university is taking an innovative approach to fighting the freshman 15. Oral Roberts University is making it a requirement for all incoming freshmen to wear fitness trackers. The students' fitness data will be tracked by the school and then contribute to their grades. We asked people on our campus whether a student's personal health should play a role in academics.
I believe that personal health is important, but it shouldn't be graded, and people shouldn't be judged based on that.
I think giving out Fitbits is a great idea, but it shouldn't pull your GPA down because of that.
I think that some things should remain personal, and health is one of them.
To be honest, people could have different conditions that don't allow them to work out as much as other people. So I just think it would really kind of negatively impact certain students.
Take the individuality of each student, whether it's physical or mental state, and then transfer that into a grade. I think it would be very difficult to accomplish.
They shouldn't get a grade for it. They should just do it because they want to work out and stay healthy.
I like the spirit of it, trying to motivate students to be more active. Probably not the best execution.
There's different ways to be healthy. I know that a lot of Fitbits can't go in water, and swimming is a great way to stay active, and you wouldn't be able to monitor anything with that.
A comment on Facebook from Kelly in Lakeville, Minnesota. A university should use normal channels to educate the population about healthy lifestyles in order to achieve positive results, rather than using the grading system to coerce students into making healthy choices. And from Courtney in Hazen, North Dakota, It's completely unfair for a hardworking student to drop grades because they didn't take enough steps each day. How many steps I take has nothing to do with my intelligence and ability in the job force.
Most people spend their Saturdays lounging around at home, but one group likes to dive into a whole new world.
On a quiet afternoon at the Ember Coffee Shop in Grand Forks, you'll find students studying, socializing, and enjoying a steaming cup of coffee. But through these doors, a group of men and women come here for something more than the caffeine and delicious treats.
I have children and a wife and a family and a job, and so this is my outlet.
Andy Gores is a member of the Grand Forks Board Gamers. This group meets twice a month for an event called Cardboard and Coffee.
You get $2,000 at the end of the round.
Andy joined the group when he moved to Grand Forks in 2012.
And I kind of got brought into this world of board games that are not your standard board games.
Today, the gamers are playing Pay Dirt. It's unlike family favorites such as Monopoly or Clue, which Andy says restrict a player by relying on the roll of the dice.
But with these games, in general, you have that reduction of luck, and the strategy that you as a player employ is what really makes the game work for you.
Just something more simple than rolling the dice for a lot of them and just hope you land on Boardwalk.
But it's not just drawing good cards that gets them excited.
The social aspect of it's different than playing like a video game online.
It's very easy to talk to the person across the table and say, oh, how could you do that to me? Or, whatever, trading this banter that you might get even in video games, but here they're right across from me like that, and I really enjoy that.
This was a day made with a cup of joe, a few good friends, and a victory here and there. This is Alyssa Guck reporting for Studio One.
Andy says his favorite board game is Vinos. He likes it because it's about wine production in Portugal. Kari, we didn't get to see it, but I'm sure after a few rounds, the players really got into it.
Absolutely. I was on that shoot, actually, and they were having a lot of fun, and it kind of became a strategy thing as well of them working together.
Nice.
Thanks, Avery. Now Kaela joins us in our studio with a final look at the weather. Kaela?
Thanks, Kari. As we look at temperatures for the week, it's going to be pretty divided in half, as the East Coast is going to be staying above average, and we'll be seeing record-breaking highs throughout the week. Now, as we go into places such as the Rockies, they'll be staying cooler this week, and as we go into precipitation, much of the United States is going to be seeing some sort of precipitation. Down south, you'll be seeing rain, and up north at the end of next week, we could be seeing some snow. And that brings us to our weather question of the week. And that answer is actually C, 60 degrees. Now, this is about 30 degrees above our normal average for this time of year. And Kari, we're going to be hitting those record highs and breaking them throughout this week and into next week.
Thanks, Kaela. And that's our show for today. As always, you can follow us through social media or get more information on our website.
From all of us at Studio One, have a great week.